The main abilities we're going to be using and the passives are as follows. And please pause the video so you can read about them so you have a better understanding later when we go over the rotation and talent picks. We're going to be using Slam. Let me actually open it like this. Slam. Slams an opponent causing 100k fizz damage. That's going to be our dump when we're overcapped on rage. Our main ability that we want to use as much as possible is Mortal Strike, a vicious strike that deals 150k damage and reduces the effectiveness of healing on the target for 10 seconds. This, combined with Colossus Smash, smashes the enemy armor, dealing 181k physical damage and increasing damage you deal to them by 98%. These two combined makes it so you can hit several million. Before it was over 2 million, now it's 1.7, 1.6. We're going to be using those three and Execute as our damaging abilities. That's it. We have those four. Now, the buffs we're going to be using and the passive that's important is, the passive is Tactician. We have a 0.75% chance per rage spent to reset the remaining cooldown on Colossus Smash or Mortal Strike. So what this build does is we fish for the reset, just so we can do as many Mortal Strikes and Colossus Smash as possible. And the way we spend the rage is by spamming Focused Rage. Focused Rage increases the damage of our next Mortal Strike by 30%, stacking up to 3 times. So all the time, we just want to keep on clicking Focused Rage to reset Tactician and to buff our next Mortal Strike. And of course, for bosses, we're going to be using Avatar and Battlecry. These are our damaging buffs. Battlecry makes everything crit, and Avatar makes us do more damage. On our artifact, we've taken this relic, this trait, golden trait, that for 5 seconds after activating Battlecry, Stormcar radiates shadowy energy, causing all your attacks to deal an additional 20% damage as shadow over 6 seconds. So what this means is during that 5-second Battlecry, we need to output as much damage as possible. That's the entire build. During the 5-second window, do several millions of damage, and you're gonna top the DPS meters. This is the build path for your artifact weapon. These are the talents for Arms Warrior. This is pretty much the best setup you can have. There is some variation depending on the content you're doing and the boss you're fighting, but this is basically it. So on the first row you can choose Overpowered, Dauntless, or Sweeping Strikes. Dauntless is always your best pick, except for when the boss has adds or there's 2 of 1 boss, or you have to cleave during the fight. Then you choose Sweeping Strikes. That makes you hit 2 targets with Mortal Strike and Execute. This is really good on some boss fights, like the dragons in Emerald Nightmare. When they spawn the shades, this is really good. This is also good on Xavius, because he always has an add on him, so you want to hit them both. The second talent is Shockwave, Stormbolt, or Double Time. When doing Mythic Plus, I like to choose Shockwave, just so I can stun packs and we can clear them more safe. But when raiding, this is really useless. So what you want to choose is Double Time. This makes it so you can charge twice. And you use charge to generate rage when you're rage starved. So you jump away and charge in, and run away and charge in again, and you get 40 rage. Very good choice. The third talents are Fervor of Battle, Rend, and Avatar. Fervor of Battle is not really that good. You don't whirlwind at all. You barely whirlwind in Mythic Plus as well. Rend does too low damage, and it's not worth giving up Avatar for. So your main choice here is Avatar for that increased burst damage. The fourth talent is Second Wind, Bounding Stride, and Defensive Stance. On this line you can choose yourself. There's no best choice here. I use Second Wind, so the healers don't have to heal me as much during boss fights and when I do world quests. Bounding Stride is also really good. You can heroic leap more, you get movement speed after you leap. Defensive Stance, it's not really good in raid. It's really good if you have very bad gear and very low HP and you die. You get one shot by mechanics. But you should never have to use that. Our fifth talent is in for the kill, mortal combo, or focused rage. For this build, this is the arms focused rage build, so you have to choose focused rage. Otherwise, you're playing something completely different. So, we're not even gonna go over these others. It's focused rage. The second last talent is Deadly Calm, Trauma, or Titanic Might. Deadly Calm is pretty much what makes this build work. During Battlecry, we have free abilities, but our Tactician proc still works as if they cost rage. So when we Battlecry, we just spam as much things as we can and get as many resets as we can. So this is also the only choice you have here for this particular build. Now, the last one is Anger Management, Opportunity Strikes, or Ravager. Anger Management makes it so when you spend rage, your Battlecry goes off cooldown faster. And this entire build revolves around Battlecry window, the 5-second window where you have to output as much damage as you can. So Anger Management is the best talent by far. So you want to start the engagement by charging in and using Focus Rage. Then you want to Colossus Smash, Focused Rage, and then just click all your buffs, macro them together, Avatar and Battlecry, and Racial if you have them. Focus Rage again, and Mortal Strike. These are all separate GCDs, so you can do them all at the same time. What this does is it makes your first hit within your Battlecry huge. And one of your traits, golden traits, makes all the damage you do during the Battlecry extend into a damage over time. So you want to make sure to do as much damage as you can during that window. After the Battlecry, all you do is Mortal Strike off cooldown and Colossus Smash off cooldown. Never save Colossus Smash. You can save your artifact ability for your next Battlecry if you can. Only Slam over 80 Rage. This build is not hard to do well on, but it is really hard to master. What I suggest is just going to these training dummies and just spamming them, and then comparing yourself to parses from Warcraft logs. Comparing your percent damage and how many slams you did, how many charges you did, how many mortal strikes you did during an even duration. I'm gonna link a lot of things in the description that you might want to check out. So good luck and have fun.